Hi, I'm Robert Osborne. We're in week 2 of our salute to our star of the month, Anthony Quinn. And tonight we're looking at Quinn's ethnic range as an actor. Joining me to talk about Quinn's career is Tom Roberts, professor of film history at the Rhode Island School of Design and the co-author of the book, Anthony Quinn's Eye, A Lifetime of Creating and Collecting Art. Welcome again, Tom.
Thank you, Robert. It's great to be here.
Thank you. Up next, we have a movie that is often overlooked in the Anthony Quinn career. It's a little movie called Black Gold, movie released by Allied Artists Company back in 1947, which Tony Quinn plays a Native American. And it also co-stars Quinn's wife at the time, Catherine DeMille. Now, why was this important in his career?
Well, for one thing, he had more control over it. He had a hand in putting the film together, which is why it went to a small studio, Allied Artists.
Which really actually the monogram.
It was.
Really a
and
small
Allied
studio.
Artists released it.
Yeah.
So it was a very small film, but he was the star.
Mm-hmm.
He was name above the title. He was the lead role. And it showed that he could carry a film.
Mm-hmm.
But interestingly, it was yet again his playing an ethnic type. He played a Native American, as he had many times, a dozen or more times in the years since his first big film, The Plainsman, in which he played a Native American. So he was sort of casting himself again in a role that was comfortable to the Hollywood establishment and to the audiences, but it was a role that was bigger and more affecting to the story.
And we have to also say that back in 1947, 46, around in there, if you were an ethnic type, it was very hard to get a lead in a film because everybody that played leads in films were white. And, you know, if you were anything else, you know, it was a character role or it would be played by a white actor, Paul Muni in The Good Earth or whatever, you know, so it was very limited what somebody who was an ethnic type like Tony Quinn could get work that way. And this proves so much to so many people, I think.
But it was also a time when he decided that if this was the leading role that he could play, basically a larger version of what he'd been playing for 15 years, that he wanted to become a better actor. So it was at that point in his life, after making Black Gold, that he and his wife and his children picked up everything and moved east. And he went back to study acting at the Actors Studio, where he worked with, among other people, Elia Kazan. But it was interesting because when Anthony Quinn, after 15 years in the movies, was moving east to study acting for the stage, many actors who had been working on the stage were picking up sticks and moving west to go to the movies. Marlon Brando, Montgomery Clift, Eli Wallach. So he was doing the opposite, which was very like him.
Mm-hmm.
He had his own mind and decided he wanted to do something that was going to serve him and his ability and his career better. And as a result of going to the Actors Studio and working with Kazan, then he got the role of replacing Marlon Brando on Broadway in Streetcar Named Desire, playing Stanley Kowalski. And he played against Uta Hagen, also a great acting teacher. And Uta Hagen is quoted as saying that, because she played it with Brando too, that she thought Anthony Quinn was the best Stanley Kowalski. So that started a different aspect of his career, and he came back to the stage fairly often. He came back again in 1960, did the play Beckett,
right,
with Laurence Olivier, and in fact they switched roles.
Switched roles in the middle of the run.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I mean, the other interesting thing was that in the Tony Awards that year, Tony Quinn got nominated for Best Actor, and Olivier got overlooked.
That's a wonderful story. Well, let's see the movie. Here it is. Really nice film from 1947, directed by Phil Carlson. Here's the story of a horse called Black Gold.